welcome back. Now that we learned what XSS is in theory, let's see different examples of how we can use and exploit the XSS vulnerability. We're going to start off as usual with our Try Hack Me platform. So I already have my machine started right here. I have navigated to task number 20, which says cross-site scripting, and we have a couple of options right here, or a couple of tasks, should I say. We have to solve all of these challenges. And I also advise you, before you do that you can read through this theory part right here and maybe learn a thing or two more about XSS. Nonetheless, once you do that, copy the IP address of your virtual machine and paste it in your browser. Okay, so we got a simple page that has a login form, a register form, and it has some options right here where we can go to reflected XSS or stored XSS. Let's see what our first task is. The first task is to deploy the VM. We already did that. The second task is navigate to our IP address in your browser and click on Reflected XSS tab on the navigation bar. Craft a reflected XSS payload that will cause a pop-up saying hello. Okay, this sounds like a simple task. So let's go right here and let's navigate to the reflected XSS. As we can even see right here, our task is to create a payload that will pop up a message that says hello. And we can do that with the help of a JavaScript alert function. The same one that we covered inside of our theory video. So all we have to do is, well, let's first see what would happen if we type just test. So it will reflect it right here on the page. It will say you searched for test. Now if we type our JavaScript code, and the function that we use is once again alert in order to specify the alert message. In our case, the message will be hello because that is our task. And we close the script tags, we click on search, and here we have an XSS. It ran our JavaScript code and opened this window that says hello. Okay, let's click on OK, and we get our flag right here. So this is the flag to our challenge. Let's copy it. Let's go back, specify it right here and submit it. Okay, awesome. Let's close this and let's see what our second challenge is. So on the same reflective page, craft a reflected XSS payload that will cause a pop-up with your machine's IP address. Okay, so we pretty much use this same user input, so we know it's vulnerable to XSS. Now we need to run a different JavaScript code in order to pop up an IP address of the virtual machine. We can do that by typing this script right here. And let me just zoom this in, just so you can see it a little bit better. We run script, and then inside the script tags we type alert, and in between the brackets we specify window.location.hostname. And of course at the end we close the script tags. So this is how our script would look like in order to pop up the IP address of the virtual machine. Let's click on search, and here it is. We get it right here. Click on OK, and we will get our flag, which we specify as a result for our challenge. Let's go right here, paste it, submit it, and that one is correct as well. The second thing, or pardon me, the third task that we have is navigate to the same IP address in your browser and click on stored XSS. And we also need to make an account. So let's do that real quick. Let's close this, navigate to stored XSS. Remember, the reflected XSS only reflected our JavaScript code on the page, it didn't store it on the server. With the stored XSS, we're going to see an example of our JavaScript code being stored on the server. But before we do that, let's register as a user. We type test, and as a password we can use test1234. Let's register. And we are currently signed in as test user. Now we could have maybe used an XSS on this part right here as a username because it does get reflected on this page, but this is not a part of the task. That is something that you can try after we finish this video. For now on, we want to navigate to stored XSS, and it appears that we have a simple comments application. If we type hello right here, post a comment, here is our username, and we said hello in the chat or in the comments. Now let's see what our first task is. We want to add a comment and see if we can insert some of our own HTML. So we're already comfortable with HTML and HTML injection, so this is already something that we know. We can try to type open header tags, test, and close header tags. And here it is. We also have the HTML injection, and the answer for this question is this HTML T4GS. Let's specify it as the answer right here. And let's move on to the last two challenges in this video. So on the same page, create an alert pop-up box appear on the page with your document cookies. Well, we already know that we're going to use the same alert function, so let's open our script tags. And in between the alert brackets, we want to specify document.cookies in order to alert us with our cookie values. We of course need to close the script tags, and once we submit this comment, we get our cookies right here. And this is also stored XSS. We will get our result or our flag right here, which for some reason I can't seem to copy. Let's try it like this, paste it, and it works. Now, if I refresh this page, you will notice that due to this being a stored XSS, this will pop up every time I refresh the page. And not only every time I refresh the page, but every time someone else visits this exact same page, they will get a pop-up with their cookie value. And that is because this is a stored XSS. A stored XSS gets stored on the server, and this value right here of our HTML injection and our value of our JavaScript injection or XSS vulnerability is also getting stored on the server and loaded every time someone opens this page. And that is the difference between the reflected XSS and stored XSS. This one we can say it's a little bit more dangerous because it's getting stored on the server. Now let's go with our last challenge. It says change XSS playground to I am a hacker by adding a comment and using JavaScript. We have the XSS playground right here, and we want to change this into I am a hacker. This can be a little bit tricky. We want to find the ID of XSS playground and we want to change it to I am a hacker. We can find the ID by going to inspect element. Then we want to navigate to this part right here, and it's in the navigation bar. Lower that, open our div tags, open our A tags for the XSS playground. Right here we should be able to find the ID of the XSS playground, and it's right here in this line. The ID equals thm-title. So that is our ID. Now we want to call it with our JavaScript injection. So let's go down here, open our script tags. Let's type document dot, and we're going to use query selector. And in between the brackets, we specify the ID of our XSS playground, since that is what we want to change. We need to specify it in between the single quotes, then we add a hash, and then the ID name, which is thm-title. So we change it like this, then we add dot, and then text content equals, and now we specify what we want to change it to. For our challenge, we must change it to I am a hacker. And at the end, we close the script tags. So this is our payload. If we specified everything correctly, it should change this XSS playground into I am a hacker. Let's click on comment. We get loaded with these values, And for some reason, oh never mind, it worked, we managed to change it, and now it says right here, I'm a hacker, and we successfully completed the challenge. If we take a closer look at this page, we also get this right here, which is our flag. This is a flag that means that we successfully completed this challenge. Let's specify it right here, and let's submit it. Okay, awesome. I do admit this last task was a little bit harder, but we managed to get through it. We used the query selector, and then we selected the ID of the thing that we want to change, and we used the text content in order to write the I am a hacker sentence. Awesome. Nonetheless, we finished with try hack me example of XSS, and we're going to move to XSS examples inside of our BVA virtual machine. See you in the next lecture.